What's going on, everybody? I am back, and today is going to be a response video for Ken over at Kenscardboard. Ken's a great guy. He's doing a contest for 777 subscribers. He is from Colorado, Longmont, and he's a great guy. He's been going at it for quite a while. He's actually one of the first YouTube community members that I connected with back in 2019 when I first started making videos. Yeah, we've just kept in touch ever since. Great guy, and I definitely wanted to support his channel, give him a shout out, and do a response video for him. So he wanted us to show a side PC, and I mean, it's hard. I kind of dabble in a lot of things. I figured today I will show some of my BYU items. I'm a huge BYU fan. I used to have season tickets for the football team for 12 or 13 seasons in a row. Then I had kids, and they just were too little to go to the game, so I had to let my tickets go. I am hoping to get them back here one of these years soon. Especially as we're getting ready to go into the Big 12. So, yeah, just a huge BYU guy, huge fan, and so because of that, I live and die with them. I watch them all the time. I love them. So, anyway, so of course it would be reasonable to think that I like to collect their cards, and so I'm gonna just show. I think everything I have today is college uniform only. I do collect pro stuff as well, so like here in the back, Jim McMahon, he's one of my all-time favorite BYU guys, but I like Jim McMahon, and I like to collect all teams he played for, NFL and BYU, but I love college uniform stuff, and so I'm just going to kind of start out. I tried to do this in sort of the order of era, if you will, so I feel like it is appropriate to start out with Lavelle Edwards. This was a 1991 card that it's kind of got perforated edges there. You'll see it's signed in blue Sharpie. It is authenticated by Beckett. Signed by Lavelle Edwards, and these came in the game programs back in the day. When you would go to the game, there would be like a little sheet of these cards, and that's where those came from. And so I bought this card signed and sent it into Beckett. It looked good, and I actually met Lavelle. I had him sign. It was a different card, I think, but when he kind of picked it up to sign it, it got creased. I do still have it, but I saw this one in blue. It looked really good, and so I picked it up. So he got everything started back in the 70s. BYU wasn't really a big program at all. They weren't very well regarded. Didn't have a lot of success in football anyway. Basketball and some of the other sports they did, but football they're not really on the radar. And he came in with a kind of a reinvented the game a little bit. Came up with a passing offense, and had a string of All-American quarterbacks in the old Western Athletic Conference from the 70s into the 80s. And among those are, you'll see in the back there, Jim McMahon. Several of his quarterbacks played in the NFL. Mark Wilson is one, Gifford Nelson, if you remember the old Houston Oilers, and they all just came after each other. There was Gifford Nelson, I'm going to probably mess this up, but I want to say I think it was Gifford Nelson, then Mark Wilson, then McMahon, then Steve Young, then Robbie Bosco, and it just kept going. And then you got Ty Detmer, won a Heisman Trophy. John Walsh was a really good quarterback, played in the NFL for the Bengals, and so on, even up until recently, Zach Wilson. So Lavelle Edwards is a huge part of the program, and he's passed away now, but stadium's named after him, and he's just a huge part of BYU. So I wanted to start with them, and I'm just going to kind of show some of the cards. I do have a couple of little helmets I'll show as well. Try not to make this too long. So got this cool Jim McMahon. I love the old helmet stickers. And this is just kind of this BYU Superstars set that came out. I think this may be like from the 80s or so. From that same set, I've got the Steve Young. And these are guys, early 80s. Here's one numbered out of 175. This is just a more modern card. And then this is like a green foil numbered out of just 25. And then into the 90s. This is sad because I really don't have I don't have any Ty Detmer BYU certified autos, evidently. I did not realize that, but I need to add some Detmer autos in my collection. This is Jamal Willis, and there for a time he was the all-time leading rusher in program history, but that has since been passed a couple of times. I want to say I think Curtis Brown broke his record, and then that has since been broken one or two times since, I think. But I got a few certified autos of Jamal Willis. Nonetheless, fun player to watch, and he was a running back on the awesome teams when Ty Detmer won the Heisman Trophy. Here's a couple of certified autos of John Walsh. Played. He left school early, went and was drafted by the Bengals into the NFL, and so those are just kind of some of my cards from the 70s, 80s, early 90s, and then mid 90s. Here's a few guys. Here's John Tate. Played for the Chicago Bears. Played in the NFL for quite a while. This is a Sage rookie auto of Tate. The 1996 BYU team won the Cotton Bowl. Steve Sarkisian was the quarterback, and they were just amazing. I went to a few games that year, and it was just a ton of fun. Probably my all-time favorite BYU team. I was too young for the '84 national championship team. I was only 3, but so as far as teams that I remember going to games and watching, was that that '96 team really hooked me as a diehard BYU team, and that I really just fell in love with. This is Rob Morris. He was an All-American middle linebacker for BYU in the late 90s. He was a first-round pick of the Colts and I want to say the 2000 NFL draft. He was on their Super Bowl winning team. Played in the NFL for quite a while, and he was just a monster on defense. Number 44. I wore number 44 in high school because I liked Rob Morris a lot. And that was the number that I chose because I played linebacker, but I sucked. I was not Rob Morris level, that's for sure. By the way, these are the ugliest uniforms ever. They call these the bibs, and you'll see this was kind of the look that BYU always had. The white helmets, just good looking uniform. And then they went to this navy blue for a while, and they only wore the bibs one season. They were terrible. But anyway, he wore those. Margin Hooks, just got a couple of different relic cards of him in the Senior Bowl. And then this is Luke Staley. His huge year was 2001. He was the Doak Walker Award winner. And we've got like I believe that's a game used college jersey of Staley there. And I got a few certified autos of him as well. His thing is he just could not stay healthy. I mean, when he was out there playing, I mean, he was so good, and he just tore it up in 2001. Like I say, won the Doak Walker Award, and the team was just really explosive offensively. And he got drafted into the NFL, and I don't remember if he even made the roster. Like, he was kind of a late round draft pick. And I think he just got hurt again, but he just always battled injuries. So it's really too bad because he was a heck of a player. After Lavelle Edwards retired, that's when the 2001 team really took off. Gary Croton was the head coach. They had an awesome year, and then they just kind of lost at the end. Luke Staley broke his leg, and they lost their last 2 games of the season. But they started out, I want to say 10 or 11-0 on the season, and then they just kind of fizzled at the end once Luke Staley went down. But him and Brandon Doman was the quarterback, was an awesome player as well. And they kind of fell off for a while, and Gary Croton ended up getting fired. They brought in Bronco Mendenhall, and he was a disciplinarian style coach, and so he came in and turned things around. And so these are some players that he had early in his regime. John Beck, this is a really cool, I love this card. This is from Sage Aspire. This is the Cougar helmet sticker. You'll see the little Cougars on the helmet there. And just a sweet card. I don't think it's numbered or anything. School pride, but very cool. And John Beck, he came in. He started as a freshman, and he struggled, and he had some growing pains. And by the time he was a junior, he had a great junior year, and his senior year was just awesome. He ended up being an All-American, second-round draft pick of the Dolphins. And the 2006 team, they won the Mountain West Conference. And I mean, they just dominated it. And he was a great player, got drafted. He didn't really have a ton of success in the NFL, but he is a coach. He still coaches a lot of quarterbacks that are stars in the NFL today. So John Beck was a great player. Austin Collie was another one that came through with the Bronco Mendenhall era. He played in the NFL for the Colts and a few other teams. He was an awesome player too, and the unfortunate thing with Collie is he just had concussion issues. But that ultimately kind of cut his career short. But I got a few Austin Collie autographs. Thought I'd share those. I'll try to pick this up here so it's not going to take too long. Here's just another guy, Ray Fenga, local guy, just a big offensive lineman. He was a great player. Todd Watkins, he was kind of a deep threat for the Cougars. Played for the Arizona Cardinals briefly. Cody Hoffman, I got a couple autographs of him. One of these is a Bowman Chrome Refractor rookie auto. And another one, little mini auto, numbered out of 99. He played for Washington for a couple years in the NFL for a minute. He was a good receiver as well. We've got Dennis Pitta, tight end. He was awesome at BYU. And he won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. And his quarterback and then this is a cool little, really super thick little helmet card autograph there as well for Pitta. And his quarterback was Max Hall. And Max Hall, he also played briefly in the NFL. He was with the Arizona Cardinals as well. He's from down that way. But he won a lot of games for BYU. And he was a really fun quarterback as well. On the defensive side of the ball, they had a couple of guys during Bronco Mendenhall's era that were really good as well. Kyle Van Noy, who I believe is still in the NFL. I know he was with the Dolphins after he left the Patriots, and I thought he went back to the Patriots. But anyway, I think he's won a couple of Super Bowls with New England. Really awesome player there. Fun linebacker. And then this guy, Ezekiel Ziggy Ansah, he was awesome to watch as well. This is numbered out of 99. And this guy's got a really cool story because he came, I can't remember where he's from. He was from like Africa, I think, and he was just so humongous and so fast and just such an athlete that, but he never played football before. Like there's stories about when he showed up on the team, they had to like show him how to put his pads on. He didn't even know how to put the pads on, but he was amazing. He was so good. And he was just a ton of fun to watch. And some more recent guys now, Jamal Williams, running back for the Packers. Just got a auto of him from Sage Hit. He was a lot of fun to watch. Super fun personality. And then I've got this book of him as well. This is from National Treasures. And this is out of 35. So it's pretty cool. It's got the big swatch here. It's got the BYU in a swatch. And then like a little window auto there. So pretty awesome. And he was a lot of fun to watch as well. And then we'll just wrap this up and get this done. And again, these are just a few more of the more recent Kalani Sitake era guys now. Sitake's the head coach. This is Matt Bushman. He was a tight end for the Raiders. I think he's still with the Raiders, but this is numbered out of 15. He was a really awesome player, and his senior year, right before the season, he got hurt, but he still did get a camp invite and made the Raiders last year, so hopefully he'll have a good season. And then my guy, Zach Wilson. This guy obviously has been in the news a little bit lately for some interesting stuff. Legend. So anyway, I have high hopes for Zach Wilson, local kid. I've just always been a huge fan of his, and this is his canvas rookie. It's an NFL, it's a Jets card, but he does have the BYU uniform on, so I thought I'd show that one. And then this is one that I got for Christmas. I found this and picked it up. This is a auto, and I can't remember. I don't think this is. Oh yeah, I guess it is numbered out of 100, and it's just kind of got that refractor shine, the 89 Pro Set look to it. It is a sticker auto, but I loved this set, and Zach Wilson's awesome. Love the 89 Pro Set, and love that it's BYU theme. Bummer on the airbrushed helmets, but sweet card. And it's the only Zach Wilson auto that I have in my collection so far. And then the last one that I'll show as far as the football side goes, and then I've just got a couple of quick other sports I'll show and then wrap this up. This is out of 99. This is out of the new Bowman U. This is Tyler Algier, and this is just a beautiful card. And this guy was awesome. I mean, he played linebacker and running back at BYU, but he was such a great running back, and he was drafted by the Falcons, and he's a rookie this year. So he's the last football one I will show because he's the most recent guy to come out of BYU to go into the NFL. So hopefully Tyler has a great career, and we'll see where it goes. I did just want to show a couple others just on the basketball front. And Sean Bradley, obviously played in the NBA for a long time. That's a certified auto there. BYU alum. Here's a Jimmer for debt. I got that signed in person, and he is just like the GOAT of BYU basketball. Everybody loves Jimmer Fredette. Here's a cool Corey Snyder card. I got that signed in person. He played collegiately for BYU. So I'll just show a couple quick helmets, and then we'll wrap this up. Sorry, this took a while. I have a Ty Detmer helmet as well, but it's all boxed up, and I didn't have time to dig it out. But this is my Steve Young mini helmet. I love getting mini helmets signed, especially by like the All-American quarterbacks and the legendary players that come through. So I'm hoping sometime to get a Zach Wilson, and I'm hoping to get a Jim McMahon someday. I do have a Detmer. I've got this Young. And then this is a really cool one, and I didn't realize this little pennant sticker was in the way, but I met, this is Robbie Bosco. He was the quarterback of the 1984 national championship team, and I asked if he'd put 84 national champs, which he did, and signed it right there. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see on the throwback BYU mini. So love it. And also I've got the Detmer, so I'm trying to get as many of the awesome All-American quarterbacks and All-American players as I can on mini helmets. So that's kind of one of my other things I like to do. But love the Cougars, and just wanted to show some of my BYU stuff. So that's all I got. If you guys aren't familiar with Ken at Kenscardboard, definitely give him a look. He has got an amazing collection, and great guy. So everybody check out Ken, and that's all I got. We'll see you on the next video. Have a good one.